Anyway, so then the main event of the 2-hour Collision broadcast, Dynamite broadcast before Collision, was for the Intercontinental title. Kenny defending against Claudio Castagnoli, Brody King, and Masquerita Dorito.
Dorada.
Huh?
Dorada. Not Dorito, Dorada.
Masquerita Dorada.
I think so.
Whatever the fuck. The point is, again, a 4-way match involving people to do moves. And this went past 10 o'clock. Somehow they busted Brody King open. If fair is fair, he busted Josh Alexander open the other night. And then at 10:05, Kenny hit the one-winged fairy on Dorada, Tomato. And then there's Kenny standing there with his belt, and here comes Oblada out with his belt. And they have a face-off where they're holding up their belt. Everybody's got a belt, so who gives a shit, right? They hold their belts up at each other, they make mean faces, and then they started trading fake forearms. And finally, Oblada leveled Kenny with a gut shot because of his diverted colon. But then Kenny immediately popped up and tried to get the fairy on him, and Oblada slithered out. They ought to call him the Sloth. Think about this. He has all the characteristics of a sloth, the slow movement, the lazy demeanor.
The colors of the outfits.
Makes bumps like a sloth. So now we get to see that, apparently. Do you think Oblada's going to lay on his ass like he does every week for old Kenny, since they have such a storied history together? Is he actually going to try this time?
You would have to think this will be the best Okada match in AEW before it happens, just because if not now, when? If not him, who?
Him who or who when? How?
Yeah, I think it has.
Where?
I think this has to be where. Oh. This has to be where Tony Khan could go back at the end of the day and be honest with himself and say, "Yeah, I finally got my money's worth out of this guy."
But no, one match in a stadium that holds 80,000, and they going to have 20,000. He got his money's worth out of one match, but he's paid this guy millions to come over here and wear baggy clothing.
Well, his money. I'm not saying, money if we're running a business or someone else.
It's not even his money. This millions of dollars this fucking Joker has cost. And he's done nothing. Nothing.
Who do you put over? Who do you put over?
It better be Kenny.
And does it have to be a title unifying bout?
Well, it would help because that way there'd be one less of these phony fucking belts floating around. But who will notice one less? There's 20. But it would be a start. And the thing is, regardless of how I feel about either one, I don't think either one deserves to win. But Kenny at least seems like he tries. And more importantly, some fucking babyface in this company has to do something important sometime. So Kenny needs to beat this fucking lazy clown.
All right. Well, that was Dynamite, and that was sometime after 10 o'clock.